Today, Kunal Botra as well as Ashish. Mahesh, very good morning, both of you all. Let's kickstart with the queries. And the first one that I have is coming in from Sriram from Chennai. And we've taken this query yesterday, so let me take another one. This is from Omkar from Pune. And he's talking about RHI Magnesita. He's purchased this stock at an average price of 508 rupees per share. Medium to long-term view is what he wants to know, and also wants to know whether he can buy some more at current market price. Do you track this one, Ashish?
No, unfortunately, I don't track this stock.
I know that this one has had a name change of late.
Yeah, it has had a name change, and I think this was one of the first few stocks which even in the last 2-3 months was actually making a fresh lifetime high for itself. So I think the previous high for the stock was around the 650 odd mark. It's corrected from those levels to 500, but I think it's a good price where the viewer has bought 508, very close to the current market price. I would suggest that you should hold on to your quantity over here. Possibly 470 could be a point where you can look to average further, but I believe the risk reward is very good for a short-term trader to try and buy the stock.
All right, Ashish, I think I cut you short. Were you going to answer on this one? I'm very sorry for that.
No, actually, I don't track this company. So.
All right.
Fair enough. The next one is for you, Ashish, and this is on RBL Bank. We've got a question coming in from Fanindra, and he's writing in from Hyderabad. He's bought 2,300 shares of this counter at levels of 132, and he says that he can hold for a period of 3 years. Would you recommend holding on at this juncture, or would you suggest that he should go with another bank, either private sector or public?
I think at 80 rupees will be a good entry point to look at RBL Bank. One thing we must understand, though, bank is passing through some patchy phase, but this is not going to get close or meet the same fate of Yes Bank. So fundamentally, I don't think so any such challenges exist in this bank. And the major selling from FIs also seems to be absorbed now. So 82 rupees should be a good entry point in RBL Bank. And surely you will get 100 to 105 kind of price after an year's time. So my suggestion will be to average. And in fact, those investors who want to look at this stock, 80 rupees in my view is a good price to enter.
All right, Kunal, this one is for you. This one is coming from Abhijit, and he's holding IEX shares as well as Vedanta shares from a very higher levels. He's saying that both the counters have dropped drastically, and he is actually incurring some sort of losses on these counters. Wants to know what should he do with these two. Can you either IEX or Vedanta, which one would you want to talk about? He wants a view for 1 to 2 years.
So I would suggest that not to average at current levels, but maybe wait out for a period of next couple of weeks. I probably believe that these stocks may drag a bit more lower, but they could be in the process of forming a short to medium term bottom for themselves. So the pace of rally is dropping down significantly for these stocks, even though these stocks are making new low for themselves. So the price correction from the previous lows is just 5% on an average for IEX, as well as 5% to 7% for Vedanta. So when you are into such kind of a fall where the drops down significantly, that's the time where stocks make a short to medium term bottom. So I would probably suggest to wait out for the next couple of weeks, and if the market also gets into a recovery phase, then you can look to buy or maybe average further.
Okay, this is an interesting question coming in from Vinod, and this one's for you, Ashish. So I'm going to read this out. He's saying he's writing in from Chennai, and he says that he wants to invest 10,000 rupees every day in a few stocks with a 5-year perspective. First of all, would you suggest that he broaden his averaging? Because cost averaging, I would think if you space it out a little bit more, it might just be more effective. And what stocks would you suggest?
Yeah, I think daily investing may not be that prudent idea. Instead of that, you can even offer weekly investing, though monthly is ideal always, but even weekly is fine. You can always invest on every Friday when generally market corrects on Friday. So on every Friday, you can start investing. Again, at 10,000 rupees, I will advise to divide in 2-3 stocks or 2-3 sectors. So like I'll suggest an automobile, you start adding TVS Motor. I see very good potential there. And metal, in my view, Tata Steel is a stock that you can start entering gradually now because first seems to be over. And in IT, I'll suggest to start accumulating TCS at 3,150 level. These three stocks will continue to do well in next 4 5 years, and good SIP will give you good return in this.
Coming in from Sagar, and this one is for you, Ashish. He wants a fundamental view on KSB Limited. He's saying that he's bought 500 shares at around 760 rupees per share, and he bought this because the delivery and the volume activity was pretty decent in the counter. The stock has gone higher by about 2 times. So now he wants to know whether he should continue to hold or does it make sense to exit. He wants a fundamental view on KSB. Do you track this one, Ashish, by any chance?
Okay, this is again a slightly odd name, and this doesn't come in our regular coverage universe.
No problem. Then, Kunal, you have a view on this one?
So yeah, I think KSB's done pretty well. In fact, at current juncture as well, the stock is perched at a fresh multi-year high. I think if it's I think it's also a lifetime high for KSB pumps at 1450, 1460 plus levels. Volumes are a bit shallow for the stock. I think just 6,000 shares, if I'm not wrong, has been traded on the NSE today. So it's a very thinly traded counter. But then the chart patterns have been quite strong. So the fact that the stock has not participated in the entire last 1 month of market correction and it's perched at a fresh high for itself tells the entire story of how the stock price has behaved. So I think if you've bought at lower levels, then I think you should consider to hold on to the stock.
All right, the next question is coming in from Tina. She's writing in from Delhi, and she's asking about Nestle. Would you suggest, Ashish, that this is a good time to add this counter into your portfolio? And this is for a very long-term period. She's talking about 10 years. The argument against, of course, has always been that FMCG companies' valuation is a little stretched. But from the 10-year perspective, would you suggest a fresh entry?
Yeah, I think 10 years is a pretty decent time frame. And stock like Nestle, they'll continue to deliver good set of returns. But along with Nestle, I'll also recommend that you partly make some investment in HUL also, because if you invest in FMCG pack and HUL is also now available at a decent valuation compared to what it used to be available at least 1 year back. So you'll get decent return. So HUL and Nestle both should be part of your FMCG shopping bucket.
No, MGL, she's purchased it at 925 rupees per share. Kunal, she wants to know whether she should average right now or hold.
Well, I think if it's a medium to longer term time frame, then you can look to average at current levels. The stock has made a previous low, which was I think around 666 for MGL. So, and classically we call this as a double bottom pattern, which has been formed at those support points. So I think it's a good risk reward, but your time frame is the key over here. If it's a medium to long term, then I would definitely suggest to average.
Okay, the question is Moltech a good buy at the current market price? This is a question from Professor Thomas V. George, who's writing in from Ernakulam. What's the view? Kunal.
So I think it's an okay buy, okay chart as such, because the stock has remained more sideways. It tends to move into strong periods of uptrend only when the market circumstances have been very, very good. Otherwise, the stock gets into a shell and goes into sideways price action. So I think that's an okay characteristic for a stock. Even at price levels of currently the stock is trading closer to 94, if I'm not wrong. I think it looks quite okay in terms of charts, closer to the mean, the 50 DMAs, etc. So I think you can look to go ahead and buy.
All right. With that, actually, we've come to the end of the query segment. Thank you so much, Kunal, as well as Ashish, for joining us on the show. And viewers, we have a special set of guests lined up on the other side of the break, so don't go anywhere.
The personal finance show that helps.
And making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge. Nikunj, you are a very seasoned market observer, and therefore you may hit the nail on the head.
I think you have always kept the focus on the retail investor, and I think this is again a very apt, very good question.
Nikunj, first of all, thank you so much. You are one person I've always enjoyed interacting throughout last 15-20 years.
You know, the problem on coming on your channel is that you already know everything. I just heard your introduction. And what can anybody add to that?
Stock markets is a numbers game, and it sometimes does come across as one-dimensional. But what people don't see is that these numbers, when strung together, tell a story. There's no really black or white. It very much seems to be a work in progress of triumphs and mistakes, greed and fear. And I bring you that story behind the numbers in action.
The personal finance show that helps you achieve all your financial dreams.
This show gets you everything that you need to know about your money, how to earn more, invest smartly, and spend while getting the best bang for your buck.
From the perfect home to early retirement and everything in between.
Real estate, everyone knows, is an asset that Indians absolutely love, maybe even more than gold.
Join us every weekday at 5 p.m. on the ET Money Show. Investment made easy, only on ET Now.
With each passing day, this market is becoming better, and with each passing day, this market is only telling you that if you've participated on every decline, you've actually made money.
ITC's credo is nation first, sab saath bade. I would like to live this philosophy in whatever business we do. We continue to be very well diversified across product lines. The general health of the company continues to be very strong.
We are a publicly listed company. We have access to capital. We have great brands.
No, beautiful question. Yeah, I can tell you, we believe that we'll be able to reduce costs.
ET is one of my favorites in the world. I'm a fan.
This is a very insightful question that you asked me, Nikunj, and almost seems like you were listening in on the deliberation the committee was doing. And you're absolutely right.
And if this cup of coffee is costing you 25 rupees right now, after 5 years, it may cost you 100 rupees. Predicting the market or predicting the short-term move in the market, well, that's always very easy. Predicting it right and making money, it's not impossible. It could be a challenge.
See, Nikunj, you're a very seasoned market observer, and therefore you may hit the nail on the head.
I think you have always kept the focus on the retail investor, and I think it's again a very
Welcome back. You're watching Buy Now, Sell Now on ET Now, and we have a very special segment for all of our viewers today. And today is July 1st. It is Doctors' Day. It is also CA's Day, also the GST Founding Day and SBI Day, I know. But yes, primarily we will be celebrating doctors, especially doctors who've actually invest in stock market, who are investors as well. So this is our special BNSN Health and Wealth segment for you all. And we have two doctors joining us on the show today. We have Dr. Tanmay Motiwala, who's a pediatric surgeon, as well as we have Dr. Gautam Peswani, who is a dentist. Good morning, doctors. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. It's a pleasure to have all of you all on board, as well as thank you. It's been a very, very tough 2 years, and it continues to be. So thank you for everything that you all have done. And Alex, you want to kickstart the discussion with the doctors today?
Sure. First of all,